What's up, guys? Brett Okamoto from ESPN, joined by the blessed man forever himself, Max Holloway, the BMF champion, and the number one contender at featherweight, who fights Ilia Topuria at the end of October. And Max, of course, always good to see you. Good to talk to you. I'm going to talk about we'll be talking about your fight a lot. But how's life, man? How is everybody? How's the family? How are things since that magical night you gave us at UFC 300?
Everything's good, man. Life's good. Son's good. Back in school. And life's good, man. No complaints over here. How you doing? How's your boy in Skittles?
Yeah, yeah.
Did you guys get you guys Skittle endorsement yet? Because you need one.
Not haven't got the Skittles endorsement yet. We'll keep working on it. Kit Kats is actually his big thing right now. But
Oh,
he's in
Kit
school as
Kats.
well, 3 days a week, pre-K. Yeah, he's loving it. Well, he hates it going
Awesome.
to it, but then he always loves it when I pick him up. Um,
Awesome.
I mentioned, of course, the knockout at UFC 300. You are, one of the most successful fighters of the last decade. So success is nothing new to you. Fame is nothing new to you. But when you do that to Justin Gaethje in the final second of that fight, have you seen like an increase in your exposure? Have you seen like a change, I guess, in your celebrity since that moment?
For sure. 100%. I mean, right after the fight, Dana White literally pulled me when I was walking out of the cage, and we was in the back in the locker rooms. He pulled me into one room. He pulled me and my wife, and he was like, "Kid, you have no idea how much how much your life is gonna change, man. Just watch." And he was right. He was right. It's crazy, moments like that. If we can't live forever, but you want to make moments that can live forever. And I think that moment is gonna be around for quite some time. And I was just blessed enough to have the opportunity to be there and have a performance like that night.
What has changed? Like you say that the things have certainly changed, and you said that Dana said your life was going to change. How has it?
I mean, a lot of people always want to talk, but a lot more people want to talk now. Endorsements deals looking a little bit different now, and
Hmm.
yeah, everything went up. Everything went up, and it's super cool. We that's what we work for. We work hard for this, and just amazing, with all the opportunities that came after the moment, and I ain't mad about it.
I feel like at some point it's got to be like some type of like a televised commercial or something where you're going like this. Like I don't know if like the
Uh,
the waiter doesn't bring you enough like salad dressing or something, and you're just you keep it like there's got to be some way to monetize this in some type of commercial way, right?
I know, yeah. I mean, you're trying to take my agent's job. I respect it. You man, Brett.
So you got this fight booked, and the first thing I want to ask you about the fight is just how does it feel to be back here? Because a lot of people, not that even doubted you, but just doubted the situation you were in. Like how is he ever going to get back here? So how does it feel to have a featherweight championship fight booked?
It felt good. It felt good. After, like I said before going to 300, all I had to do. I mean, all I had to do even after the Volk 3 fight was just keep winning. And the word was, I kept telling you before, was undeniable. Be undeniable. That's all we had to do. And a lot of people laughed at me. A lot of people told me I should have changed weight. A lot of people told me I should have retired after that third Volk fight. But I knew how good I was. I know what I had to do. I know I'm not scared of hard work. Like I said, you guys know my story. I fought a who's who on my way to my first title shot. And I got my first title shot by accident. Shout out to DC and sneezing and blowing his back out for that one fight. So at the end of the day, things happen for a reason. And if you was to tell me that I wasn't going to be back in this situation, even if Bulk was here, you're crazy. Because I was going to be undeniable. I was going to take out whoever it had to be. And, now we get to fight here. I got to fight. I was a young kid with the old generation. I got to fight guys who, was my idols, who I loved and growed up watching. And now I'm still young, and I'm here fighting the so-called new generation, and I'm excited. A lot of people uh is high on Ilia Topuria, and everything is granted. He did what he did. He kept winning fights, but a lot of people keep forgetting who I am. When I was his age, I believe I had a title defense or two already. So at the end of the day, I'm just glad that I get to fight this new era that people keep talking.
I'm actually surprised that DC has never asked for royalties on getting you your title shot. Knowing DC the way I do, it seems like something he'd want to check in the mail for every other month or something. How do you
Oh,
feel about the
brother,
fight? How do you feel?
I had to buy that guy a bunch of Dr. Pepper, so I think we're even.
Abu Dhabi, you have had a great, obviously, history in Abu Dhabi, and there was even that moment. I mean, the fight went well, and then you were skateboarding in the parking lot. It seemed like you were enjoying Abu Dhabi. How did you feel about the fight going back to Abu Dhabi?
I mean, it's a business, right? It's a business. My first title, my first title shot ever was all in Rio. To fight the King of Rio, and then the title back is all in Abu Dhabi. It's tough for my friends and family, some of them to make them out, but it's business. It is what it is. If they was paying me right and they wanted me to fight in a parking lot somewhere, I would do it. So at the end of the day, it's just a fight, just another time. Um, like you said, I had some great experience. I had great fights there. Even though I dropped that one with Alex, the second one, it was still a great fight. We had that moment with Kelvin Cater and ABC. That's another moment I think is going to live on forever. The skateboarding incident is great, and that's only when we got to walk around the hotel. Like we had like a 25 meter or something around the hotel, right? So
Hmm.
now there's a bunch of stuff that we want to do. I know there's Ferrari World. I know there's a bunch of things up there that we had to actually enjoy the island and chill before or after the fight. So I'm glad that I get to be back there, and I can't wait.
Well, I liked your idea about Allegiant Stadium, though. I even looked at the schedule, and the Chiefs are at the Raiders the day after the fight. I mean, wouldn't it be amazing if the Super Bowl champs were in Las Vegas and they somehow could have worked it out that you were fighting the day before a Raiders game in Allegiant Stadium? That would have
That would
been.
be insane.
What do
Hey,
you?
never say never, man. I got a tough task in front of me with them, and I ain't overseeing them. But hey, we get that title back, man. There's a possibilities for a bunch of big fights, and every fight after this one, if we can get our hand raised, it's gonna be a big one. So I am not counting it out. 60,000 people. It's gonna be more, right? 60,000 people is just the seats. So without the
Mhm.
floor with all the floor and things going on, never say never, man. I can never ever get a UFC Hawaii. I know that the next best thing is the ninth island, Las Vegas, and why not do a stadium with a huge fight?
Yeah, I would love to see it. In terms of this fight, knowing you the way I do, I feel like you don't really care. Like you don't try to kind of take a read on your opponent, but like, can you figure this guy out? I mean, some of the back and forth and him saying that you were ducking him, and there for a period of time, it almost seemed like he was expressing that he was not interested in fighting really any of the top contenders in 145. Like, what do you make of Ilia Topuria? Can you get a read on him?
I mean, I don't know. The honest question is, I can't. After the 300 moment, the camera's on him, and the dude is just he's him. He's himself. You know what I mean? He's an odd fella. I would say. People. I just noticed yesterday someone like some people are tagging me on Instagram on Twitter that he commented on one of my Instagram posts saying "Let's go Max." I think he's a fan of me.
I saw that.
I think he's a fan of me, and I think he can't deny it. I think so deep down inside he's really cheering for me, which is kind of weird. But he's an odd fella, man. He's an odd fella for sure.
Does he annoy you at all? Just any of the things that he said, or the way he's dismissed you a little bit? Like does that?
Not at
That
all. Not at all. Yeah,
I
not
mean,
at
I've seen
all.
other interviews
Why?
where people have asked him, like, there's this suggestion almost that he has gotten under your skin in some way, like just by being him, as you mentioned. Is that? But there's no truth to that.
No, why? I don't. I what showed or what did I say or what did I do to show that he's under my skin? That's news to me. That's funny. I mean,
Yeah.
nobody can really get under my skin, bro. At the end of the day, if we wasn't fighting, we didn't have a fight booked, then it'd be kind of I'd be kind of annoyed just because we don't have a fight book, But at the end of the day, we're booked October 26th. I get to punch you in the face, kick you, hit you. I get I get to I get to fight you, bro. And so
Hmm.
why would I be mad about whatever he's doing?
Hmm.
The guy is the guy is writing checks right now that his body might not be able to cash. So the greatest thing ever is that we get to find out October 26th.
As a fighter, what have you seen so far to him?
Bro, I'd be lying to you to say if he wasn't good. You know,
Hmm.
he He beat a guy that I had 3 cracks at and I couldn't figure it out. He went in there one time, and a lot of guys is gonna say, "Yeah, that was a hurt," and I understand. But Volk felt like he was good enough to go in there, and he did what he did.
Mhm.
He still had to do what he do. Even when we talk about the road to the title, if we compare our records of my road to the title and his road to the title with strengths of like the opponents and stuff, like how strong or whatever rank it is what it is. People are gonna say, he had an easier path and blah blah blah, but he still had to win, and he
Mhm.
still did it, and he still won. He still is the champion. He's a great fighter, He's a good fighter. You'd be dumb to not think that he is. He got power, he got speed, but he never fought me yet. So
Mhm.
that's the beautiful thing, and he thinks he knows something. I see him say that he thinks he's gonna be the first one to put me out and blah
Mhm.
blah. I mean, if that's what you need to get yourself to the fight, please keep telling yourself that all the way to October 26th. Because when we get in the octagon, that cage door closes, we get to find out, all this he said, she said stuff is gonna go out the window, and we get to find out who's gonna be the champion after that night.
Another thing he said is that maybe he'll point to the ground against you. And I gotta admit, I'm kind of fascinated by that to see how you would react to somebody doing your own move against you. Could you ever see him doing that? And what do you think he would do if in the moment he did that?
I mean, yeah, I could see him, but I mean, I don't know when he'll do it or why he'd do it. There's points and ways and reasons to do that, and I saw an interview of him saying that bring the last 10 seconds to the first 10 seconds of the fight, which is his fight IQ might not be there, but his athleticism and his power and strength is there, but might be lacking a little bit in his fight IQ. So after saying that, I was like, brother, you gotta go work on your brain, my guy. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? There's reasons, there's opportunities, there's chances that you do those kind of stuff, but we see it happens. If he does it, I mean, how can I put back? How can I step down from that? That'd be a fun one. But like I said, we see what we see. I never ever saw him even have a moment like that with anybody yet. So to do it against a guy who loves to do that, and I mean, we see, man. I can't say too much. I'm excited that he says that kind of stuff because October 26th couldn't come soon enough. The time is flying by, and I can't wait to test him.
Yeah, man. I can't wait to see this fight. I'll let you go. I know you're a busy guy, but best of luck with the rest of your camp. And hey, man, a lot of people are talking about like Alex Pereira putting together this amazing year, which obviously he has. But you win this and you get your featherweight championship back, you're going to be right there for fighter of the year as well, right there with Alex if he gets it done in Salt Lake City. So, congratulations again on the big night at 300, and we'll see you in Abu Dhabi.
Thank you, bro. I see you there, brother.